Last week we went over several functions that help you read, write, and manipulate text in a cell. We'll go over a few more of those this week, namely the write function, the mid function, len, and trim. Our example spreadsheet looks pretty similar to the one we used last week, but this time we need to get the numbers from the right end of a cell. This works exactly like the left function that we used last week, but it takes the text from the right side of a string, as you would hopefully expect. We will again work from the result backwards. We expect power output to be 28, which is 14 times 2. To get to the 28, we'll say 14 times 2. But if somebody were to change these, that does not automatically update the 28 in this cell. So we need to replace 14 with something from this cell. We're going to use write, that cell, and we need 2 digits because 14 is 2 digits. To get the 2, we're going to use write, that cell, and 1 because the 2 is 1 digit. Still works. The only problem is if somebody were to put a 2-digit number into here or a 1 digit into there, it's going to screw things up. And this is not going to calculate correctly. So we need to replace this 2 with something based on this cell. What we're going to end up using is the find function. We want to find the equal sign. In that cell. Close parentheses. What that does is it returns the number of the digit where the equal sign is found. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to return a 9 because that's where the equal is. 9 doesn't do us much good. What we really need is 9, 10, 11, 12 is the length of the whole thing, minus 9, which is where the equal is, minus 1 for that space. So let's do len, which gives the length of the whole cell that you've selected, minus that find function. Now we've got 12 minus 9, which gives us 3, the 4, the 1, and the space after the equal sign. And we'll say minus 1 to get rid of the space. You might say, why do you not search for a space instead of the equal sign? But there's a space before the equal sign too. It's always going to find the first one. So we need to find the thing that only happens once. On this one, we'll do the very same thing. Len of A2 minus find equal. And in the function find, you always need to have the criteria surrounded by quotation marks if it's a string. If it's a number, it doesn't need them. Inside A2 minus 1. And this may, yes, that will work. Enter. but that's a little sloppy. I don't like using the -1 to get rid of the space. What if somebody didn't put a space there? It's going to subtract off the 1, and you're only going to get 4 times 2. It's a blind subtraction of 1. What I would prefer to do, which is going to make a more robust solution, is to get rid of that -1 and then surround each of these right functions with something called trim. Trim removes any spaces before or after a string. And it still works. Now we should be able to say 56. And 240. And 1. It appears to work. Let's go back to our 2 and 14 though. May have them reversed, but doesn't matter now. And what if somebody were to give you a spreadsheet like this, 2 volts and 14 amps? They included their units. Now you can't take the right side. Now you're trying to multiply 2 volts times 14 amps. And Excel has no idea what to do with letters in a formula. What we need is another function called mid. It's not the left, it's not the right, it's the middle. I'm going to change both of them at the same time. The way mid works is you don't tell it a length like this necessarily. You tell it where to start and how many to take. So in this case, I want to start right after the equal sign, and then I want to take however many digits there are before space volts. So I'm going to say start when you find an equal sign in this cell, and then do a comma to get to the number of characters, and say find the space volts, comma, in this cell. But that's going to give us this location, which is, I believe, 10, 11, 12. 12. We don't want 12 characters. We want 12 minus 9, which is 3 characters. It's a little sloppy. It's got the space on either side, but that trim will take care of it. Find volts and subtract this same exact thing right here. Subtract the equal sign. So really we've done from A1, comma, where to start, where it ends, minus where it starts, which gives you a number of characters. And we'll do the same thing over here. Let's get rid of this and say find the equal sign in this cell, comma, find space amps in this cell, and subtract this. And you can't see it because I'm doing it on the keyboard, but I'm hitting Control-C to copy this, and I'm hitting Control-V to paste it right there. Once again, we've got the cell it's coming from, where the text we want starts, where the text we want ends, minus where the text we want starts. Enter. Hopefully that worked. Uh-oh. Error in value. Well, we'll just try to find out what caused that. When you get an error like this, you can go to Show Calculation Steps. And apparently, for some reason, we are getting the equal sign in there. Okay. See, this is showing you that it's trying to multiply equals space 2 times equals space 14. We need to get rid of the equal signs. Close. The equal signs are in there because we told it to start at the equal sign. I should have remembered that. We'll say +1. Start one character after the equal sign. And hit enter. I bet we have to... Oh, no, that worked. Great. So now we should be able to do crazy things like that. And it appears to work. And there you have it. Please subscribe, comment, and like this video. If possible, please like the video from within YouTube rather than Facebook. The next video will be about how to avoid showing errors on a spreadsheet that has not been filled in yet. For instance, maybe you had something that's divided by 0 because somebody hasn't filled in the cell that is being divided yet. But you don't want it to show the divided by 0 error until it's been filled in with a 10 or something, because it's not really an error, it's just incomplete. This function will let you replace that error with an empty string, looks like a blank cell, but it has a formula in it. Or it can replace it with text that says something like, enter the parameters above. Don't miss this one. It's very interesting and not a very well-known function. Finally, sometime in the next couple of weeks, my wife and I will be welcoming our second baby into the family. So if I miss a week on the videos, that's why. Otherwise, I still plan to do one video per week for the foreseeable future. Have a good weekend. Thank you.